şey yaptım.
Abi o arabaları götürüyor.
La ilahe illallah, la ilahe illallah.
Kuyruk yolu.
Ya aşırı derecede su.
Arkadaşlar, arabalar gitti arkadaşlar. Arkadaşlar arabalar gitti. Arkadaşlar Mezitli'yi götürdü arkadaşlar.
Heavy overnight rains that hit the coastal province of Mersin have triggered a severe flood emergency, as several rivers overflowed and urban drainage systems collapsed due to the sudden surge in water. Authorities in the region confirmed that the city and surrounding districts experienced unusually high rainfall in a short period of time, straining infrastructure and causing widespread disruptions across transportation, residential areas, and agriculture. The provincial governor's office has declared a high state of alert, mobilizing emergency services, municipal teams, and disaster management units to assist affected residents and restore critical infrastructure.
Ey Yüce Rabbim şuraya bak.
In the early hours following the storm, several rivers in Mersin reached dangerous levels, forcing local authorities to issue warnings and close vulnerable roads. The Mezitli River, one of the region's most important waterways, overflowed dramatically, inundating neighborhoods and causing significant damage to properties along its banks. Officials reported that the Tece River, which flows through the same district, also overflowed, causing widespread flooding in residential areas. Local residents described the incident as sudden and alarming, with floodwaters rising within minutes and sweeping away normally dry streets. Many families were forced to evacuate, taking only essential belongings with them, while others sought higher ground as the water level continued to rise. Mezitli, a district known for its residential areas and agricultural areas, emerged as one of the areas worst affected by the flood crisis. Authorities confirmed that several neighborhoods experienced severe flooding, leading to emergency evacuations and temporary road closures. Floodwaters affected major roads, including Gazi Mustafa Kemal Boulevard, which was temporarily closed for safety reasons. The closures disrupted traffic flow and stranded many road users as water covered lanes and made driving impossible. In addition to urban flooding, rural areas in the district also suffered extensive damage. Reports indicate that at least 47 bridges were severely damaged or collapsed, cutting off access to remote villages and agricultural land. Pedestrian crossings and small bridges, commonly used by local residents, became unusable, leaving many communities isolated. The agricultural sector in Mezitli was severely hit as the flood submerged farmland, destroying crops and irrigation infrastructure. Farmers in the region reported significant losses, with many fields turning into temporary lakes as water flowed uncontrollably across the landscape. In some areas, irrigation canals were washed away and farmland was covered in debris and mud. Agricultural experts warned that the full economic impact may not be immediately apparent, as erosion and soil contamination could impact planting cycles for months to come. Farmers dependent on seasonal crops expressed deep concern, stating that the flooding could significantly disrupt their livelihoods and threaten the region's food supply chain. The flooding also swept through residential and commercial areas along the riverbanks, causing extensive property damage. Several homes were inundated, forcing families to evacuate to safer locations. Businesses located near the river reported water entering their basements and damaging inventory, equipment, and critical infrastructure. In many cases, the damage is expected to require extensive repairs. Vehicles parked along flood-prone roads were also damaged. Numerous cars and motorcycles were submerged or damaged by the flooding, triggering insurance claims and urgent recovery efforts. Local authorities have urged residents to avoid driving in flooded areas and to move vehicles to higher ground if possible. The flooding has also had a significant impact on the coastal environment. Runoff from heavy rains has flowed into the Mediterranean Sea, causing coastal waters off Mersin to turn brown and murky. The beachfront area is littered with mud, driftwood, and other debris washed up from inland. Tourism and recreational activities along the coast have been disrupted, as authorities have warned residents and visitors to avoid the water due to safety and pollution concerns. Municipal teams have begun cleanup operations along the coastline, clearing debris and monitoring the environmental impact of the flooding. Environmental experts have warned that runoff could impact marine ecosystems, including water quality and marine life.
La ilahe illallah, la ilahe illallah, la ilahe illallah.
The flooding caused severe disruption to transportation networks across Mersin. Key routes, including the Mersin D400 highway, experienced heavy waterlogging, turning major roadways into dangerous, impassable zones. Commuters and long-distance travelers reported traffic jams and stalled vehicles, as water levels rose quickly and trapped motorists. The sudden flooding created a nightmare scenario for drivers, as many found themselves unable to proceed or turn back due to deep water and strong currents. Authorities have advised residents to avoid travel unless necessary and to follow official traffic advisories. Meteorological authorities have warned that intermittent rainfall may continue, increasing the risk of further flooding in vulnerable areas. Residents have been urged to remain vigilant, especially near riverbanks, underpasses, and other low-lying areas prone to flooding. Officials also stressed the importance of avoiding riverbeds and avoiding travel through floodwater, which can be deceptively deep and strong. In response to the crisis, municipal teams and disaster response units were deployed across affected areas. Their primary tasks include pumping out water, clearing debris, assessing damage to infrastructure, and restoring access to isolated communities. Authorities have also set up temporary shelters for displaced residents and provided emergency assistance to families affected by the flood. Local government officials emphasize that the response is ongoing and that additional resources may be required depending on the severity of continuing weather conditions.